pass auf, Mädels, wir gehen in das nächste Video rein. Hogwarts Legacy. Es kommt ja nochmal ein Banger-Game. Ich weiß nicht mehr, ob dieses Jahr oder erst nächstes Jahr. Ich glaube aber nächstes Jahr erst. Ein Banger-Game kommt raus. Hogwarts Legacy. Wir dürfen alle selber Harry Potter sein. Es gab dazu vor ein paar Tagen ein Gameplay-Showcase. Was war das denn jetzt? Und anstatt das Stunden-Gameplay-Showcase reinzuziehen, gucken wir uns jetzt einfach das Video von WolfheartFPS an. Ich bin mal gespannt. Ich kenne den Typen auch gar nicht. Aber er sagt, Hogwarts Legacy may be much bigger than you think.
When it comes to the open world, we just knew it wasn't going to be enough to stare out of the windows of Hogwarts and wonder what it's like out there. That is a quote directly from Alan Tu, the lead game director of Hogwarts Legacy. This is a big deal for Potter fans because we've never really gotten a truly open world AAA Wizarding World experience before. If we take a look at the PC game Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which came out back in 2001, this game was the start of an action-adventure video game series, where you played the role of Harry and went forth on a linear journey that followed the story of the famed books. Seeing this game again is super nostalgic for myself, as I remember being extremely excited to go to my father's house way back in the day, because he had a Windows 98 hunk of plastic PC, and he used to let me play Harry Potter for a few hours a night.
Das Problem bei dem Spiel war, dass es auf jeder Konsole eine andere Version war.
The first couple games of that series, as it was awesome to have a video game that let players run around Hogwarts as Harry. However, these games were not really open-world games, nor were they RPGs. They were action-adventure games with a lot of linearity. I also remember playing Quidditch World Cup for the GameCube, which was awesome at the time. This was essentially a sports game. And then, of course, we got the Harry Potter Lego games, and there's several mobile games that have come into existence. If you're like me, though, at some point you probably gave up hope for a quality open-world RPG Wizarding World experience. That is until Hogwarts Legacy was announced. Hogwarts Legacy is going to be bigger than what many of us may have initially thought, as the developers seem to be taking the words open world pretty dang seriously. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all of the locations that we know we'll be visiting in Hogwarts Legacy. You'll want to stick around to the end.
Also ganz ehrlich, die Erwartung für Hogwarts ist doch brutal. Also da sagen ja Leute jetzt schon, bevor das Spiel überhaupt rausgekommen ist, dass das mit Elden Ring Game of the Year Titel am Kämpfen ist und sowas.
Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry is clearly going to be the central hub and focal point of this game. We are students, after all, going to school, and a good amount of our days should take place in the school itself. When we do go out on an epic adventure, I would imagine that in the majority of cases, we will be heading back to the school afterwards. Hogwarts is going to be the place that grounds everything together. It's where our common rooms and dormitories are, where our classes take place, of course. Most of the important NPCs will likely be at the school most of the time, and of course we have other really important locations, such as the Room of Requirement, which is another central hub-type location for our character.
Das ist auch richtig nice, mit dem Top, der im Hintergrund springt. Meint ihr, man kann in diese komische Gasse, Digga, wo du auch so Zauberstäbe und so eine Sachen kaufen kannst?
I don't think it's much of a gamble to assume that we will be at Hogwarts quite a lot. Now, the castle itself is huge in the lore, and well, it looks pretty dang big in the game itself, too. Thankfully, we're going to have open access to it, albeit some places in the castle are restricted to students, but we already know that there will be some clever ways around those restrictions. We'll be walking the magical passageways, hanging out in the Great Hall, snooping around the kitchens, navigating the grand staircase to most if not all 8 floors of the castle, and perhaps the most exciting aspect is that we'll be discovering dungeons and magically hidden passageways. Judging by the gameplay trailer, it looks like some of these secret areas are going to be quite detailed and extensive. Then we can't forget the Hogwarts grounds where the Quidditch pitch is located, although we will not be playing Quidditch ourselves in this game. The Black Lake, the Whomping Willow area, the Owl Room, and much, much more. There'll probably be a groundskeeper hut out there somewhere as well, but whether or not it will be in the same location as Hagrid's hut in the 1900s, we'll have to wait and see. So far, Hogwarts is looking pretty good.
Ah, also es spielt auch in der Zeit nach den Harry Potter Filmen.
I'd say. But don't forget that there's actually going to be a lot more to this game than just the school itself. Not too far away from Hogwarts lies the all-wizarding village of Hogsmeade. This will be a location that we will be visiting, and probably quite a lot. We are told that in Hogsmeade there will be loads of shops and vendors that can provide us with the supplies that we require. We even got to see what appears.
Ich habe schon gedacht, das wäre diese Gasse, die ich meinte. Winkelgasse.
To be a bookshop, which could very well be tomes and scrolls. A potions and ingredients shop, which is called Pippin's Potions, and what appears to be a magical clothing store, which is likely Gladrag's wizardwear. In the background of this particular shop, we can see Ollivander's, the wand shop, as there is a branch located in Hogsmeade. It seems like Hogsmeade is not just going to be a little quick side quest village, but actually a fully fleshed out vital location of the game. Now, getting to Hogsmeade, I think, is going to be the fun part. We already know that there will be some sort of fast travel system in the game involving flue powder and flue flames. Now, I'd imagine that at some point we will be able to use this to fast travel to Hogsmeade, but I also think that we'll be able to walk there or fly there. If we take a quick look at this map that is based on an old J.K. Rowling drawn map, you can see the castle in the center of the map, and to the northwest is the village of Hogsmeade.
Sieht doch mehr wie eine Skizze aus als richtig gezeigt.
Hogwarts Legacy is going heavy on the open, living, and breathing world marketing for the game, so I can't imagine that the game wouldn't let us seamlessly travel to a location so close to the castle itself. In this gameplay scene right here, I actually think that this is the front gates to the castle grounds, and that path that you can see in the distance leads to Hogsmeade. There are other more secret ways to get to Hogsmeade Village, such as through the cave passages beneath the Whomping Willow on the Hogwarts grounds, but who knows if Avalanche will include these ways in their game. We also know from the gameplay reveal that we will be able to run around the outskirts of Hogsmeade, as that is where this scene right here seems to take place. Now, Hogsmeade Station, which is the final destination for the Hogwarts Express, which is the train that students take to school, in the lore is actually not in Hogsmeade Village. On the map here, you can see that it's located south of the Black Lake, and then there's this road that takes you all the way around the castle grounds to the village. If you remember your Harry Potter lore, first-year students will exit the train station and take a small narrow path that brings them to the edge of the Black Lake, where they then take the Hogwarts boats across the lake to get to the school. All other students will take the carriages from the station all the way around to the Hogwarts front gates. In the gameplay reveal, we did get a quick glimpse of Hogsmeade Station, so I would expect to be able to seamlessly travel to this station area as well. Even closer to the castle than Hogsmeade is of course the Forbidden Forest, which borders the edges of the Hogwarts grounds. We know for a fact that we will be exploring this forest, but the extent of its openness to player travel, I'm not entirely sure yet. It does seem like we will be able to go pretty much wherever we want though. The Forbidden Forest is a very, very old place that holds many secrets, and it's home to many creatures, some of which are not too friendly. There's several scenes in the gameplay that have been revealed to us that give off Forbidden Forest vibes, and this includes some of the seemingly big dungeons. This forest is said to be pretty massive, and it extends in a broadly northeasterly direction. I'm very excited to see how much of it we're able to explore. All the locations that I just went over are core locations to the Harry Potter series, and they're just in general notable locations that all Hogwarts students would know about. But Hogwarts Legacy seems to be taking it much further than just this. Take a look at this shot. We have two characters riding hippogriffs out to what appears to be a coastline area. Then we have this shot where Professor Fig is using Reparo to repair a broken stone bridge that leads to a structure out on a rock in the ocean. Then my personal favorite is this scene, which is really giving off that open world feeling. To the character's right, you can see once again a coastline area. And look how big this world appears to be, and Hogwarts is nowhere in sight. Are we going to be able to just hop on a broomstick and fly from Hogwarts to the coastline? I'm not sure, but whatever they do, it does look like we're going to have a lot of exploration freedom. There's also mountains somewhat near the castle, and in a past tweet on the Hogwarts Legacy account, you can see that it says, "From the tallest mountains to the deepest caverns, hone your skills anywhere in the wizarding world."
Also, Elden Ring hat aber auch einen Meilenstein davor gelegt. Die können jetzt nicht einfach im Endeffekt eine Open World anbieten und dann die ist nicht mal halb so groß wie die von Elden Ring. Hogwarts Legacy wurde ja auch, als Elden Ring released wurde, erstmal nach hinten verschoben. Man munkelt, weil sie dann erstmal ein paar Sachen an Game ändern wollten, dass die nicht eher an Elden Ring rankommen, aber eher an diese Standard von Elden Ring rankommen, den Elden Ring gesetzt hat halt.
And the last thing that I'll talk about is just the general countryside of England. In this shot, the player is flying to some wizarding hamlets out in the surrounding countryside. As you can see, some of these places have vendors and interactable NPCs that will offer side quests. There's 2 more locations that I believe we got a glimpse of in the trailers that I didn't talk about yet, and the reason being is that I'm still not 100% convinced that we will be traveling to these places. The first one is Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley is the famed cobblestone wizarding alley located in London behind a pub called the Leaky Cauldron.
Ah, das ist die Winkelgasse.
It's an important location in the wizarding world, as this is where most students go to get their school supplies, and of course it's home to Gringotts Bank. Now we haven't seen the alley itself yet, but it does seem very, very likely that we will be going to Gringotts Bank, as demonstrated in the footage right here. If I had to take a guess, I would say that the full alley itself is not going to be in the game, but we may very well be taking a magical portal to the bank itself. In this scene where the player is looking through what appears to be a magical portal, it looks a lot like Gringotts on the other side if you look closely. The other really exciting location that I wanted to mention is none other than the prison for convicted magical criminals, Azkaban. I can't imagine this right here being any other place than Azkaban, as it definitely looks like a prison, and of course the main giveaway are the soul-sucking Dementors that are flying around. Azkaban is located on a rock island in the middle of the North Sea, but it's supposedly pretty far out there, so I'm not sure if a seamless broom ride would end up getting us there, like it should with a place like Hogsmeade. Also, this scene alone doesn't necessarily mean 100% that we will be going to Azkaban. It could just be part of an in-game story cutscene. Regardless, it's very exciting to think about, and if we do get to go to Diagon Alley and Azkaban, and I think Gringotts is basically confirmed, I'd consider all of these cherries on the top of this already seemingly massive game.
Ja, hört sich auch alles sehr, sehr, sehr wild an. Also er hat gerade gesagt, es kann sein, dass man nach Azkaban nur kommt oder es nur in der Cutscene sieht, also dass man gar nicht selber das Ding betreten kann. Kann natürlich alles sein, aber wäre schon nice, Digga. Vor allem, wenn man zu diesen ganzen Orten reisen kann, die dann in den Büchern und in den Filmen vorkamen.
To end the video, I'm going to show you guys some concept art for Hogwarts Legacy, because concept art most of the time is used to actually give to the 3D artists for them to then create the actual in-game world. These are not just random Wizarding World fandom pics. These are pictures that should in many ways represent the experience that us players will have in the actual world of Hogwarts Legacy. Thank you so much for watching, and much more Hogwarts Legacy content to come.
Jetzt so ein bisschen zeigen. Sieht schon alles sehr, 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 sehr wild aus. Ein paar Sachen sehen auch schon ein bisschen so, als wären sie im Game wären. Als würden sie nicht nur gezeichnet werden. Sehr, sehr nice. Das wird ein Brecher. Das wird ein Brecher vom Game.